Significant increases in temperature are coming up for Europe and also North America, and that's going to put a pause on winter weather for many of us. All that precipitation that should fall as snow will instead come down as heavy rains across many parts of Europe, and over the United States, an ice storm will be followed by relentless impulses of warm and saturated air from the Gulf, bringing potentially extreme amounts of rain to drought-stricken areas. We're going to take a look at all this information and more in greater detail in this video, so let's begin with Chapter 1. We're starting this off today over Northern Europe. This is going to be ground zero for the incoming storm systems, as you'll see momentarily. Storm Isha is the name given to the storm we have right here, and by Sunday evening we're going to have a deepening low pressure zone passing just to the north of Ireland and Scotland, and this will spread very strong wind and torrential rain as it makes its closest approach. It will quickly advance eastward through Sunday night into Monday, becoming positioned right around the Faroe Islands by Monday morning. The low pressure zone will probably make landfall over Norway by later in the day on Monday, with a strong cold front advancing across mainland Europe. The warmer air coming with this system will keep most areas under heavy rain instead of snow, and this may happen as far north as Sweden and Finland. By Tuesday, the storm should clear up for the most part, but we're not going to have much of a break, since a new storm is going to be moving into the picture by Tuesday. This next system looks to take a similar track to the previous storm, and then it should be located just north of Scotland by Tuesday evening. Across southwestern Europe, especially over Iberia, we actually just had a small system move through, but it has since cleared out. As we push this forward, we can see how we really don't have anything to talk about in terms of precip in this region, with the only thing worth noting is the rise in temperatures. This will make for a very pleasant stretch of weather for the foreseeable future across the vast majority of Iberia, so definitely enjoy the next few days. Over the Mediterranean and southeastern Europe, we just had a winter storm move across the Balkans, bringing snowfall for many people there, but that system is now over the Mediterranean Sea, extending into Turkey. Once that system moves out within the next few days, then things should stay pretty calm, with really the only precip coming from the passing cold fronts associated with bigger systems to the north. So based on what we've seen so far in this video, it's clear that most of the action across Europe is really going to be for northern areas, and that's going to be kicked off with the arrival of Storm Isha today. These are the current warnings in effect, and you can see how the entirety of the UK and Ireland are under some kind of weather alert. Yellow warnings are in effect for a small portion of England, which is going to be an area least affected by this system, but basically anywhere else is really going to get heavily impacted by this storm, and that's why you see most areas under orange and amber warnings. Parts of Ireland are under red warnings, especially western areas, and you're going to see why on the next map. Here's a look at the wind forecast, and you can see exactly why we have so many weather warnings in effect. Watch as these purple and pink shades spread across Ireland and the UK going through the day today, but those black and white shades are really going to be where we see some serious winds. Western Ireland and Scotland, especially for the exposed coastal and mountainous areas, may see wind gusts well over 120 kilometers per hour, with maximum wind gusts reaching a very dangerous 150 kilometers per hour, which is equivalent to 75 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts. Precipitation totals across Europe for the next 3 days reflect what we talked about earlier, and you can really see how much of the rain is going to be across the Nordic countries, parts of Central Europe, Ireland, and the British Isles. Then across southern Europe, very little precipitation is expected for most areas, but the exception is going to be around Turkey, where we do have a storm working its way south. So that's the general overview of what to expect in Europe, so I hope you found that useful. If you have any additional questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Subscribe for more information if you haven't already, but for now, please enjoy Chapter 2. We're going to open the second chapter with a look at the latest drought monitor across America, since I'm actually expecting some huge rainfall totals for some of these areas. We can see that some of the worst drought in the country right now is over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee, and fortunately rain is on the way, but it's going to come in way too fast. Let's take a look here at how this is going to evolve, and one of the things you're going to notice is how active the west is compared to the east, and that's because we have a frigid Arctic high pressure zone dominating the eastern 2/3 of the country. Going into tonight and Monday, we're going to see the initiation of a very wet pattern across the southern plains, and you can see that as some moisture starts surging northward. Those pink shades that you see across Oklahoma, Missouri, and Illinois is actually freezing rain. That's going to be a separate risk to watch for as this system moves north before the possibility of snow and sleet gets added into the mix. And then as that unfolds, watch as one of the systems affecting the west coast ejects into the plains, joining forces with the moisture that's already surging northward with that first system by midweek. And then once that happens, we might even see a new storm spin up over the southern plains, producing additional heavy rainfall and maybe some more messy wintry weather further north. These are the possible rainfall totals for the next 7 days according to the Weather Prediction Center, and we can see that parts of the southern U.S., especially around eastern Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and even Alabama, could end up with multiple inches of rain, so we're going to have to watch out for the possibility of flooding. While the threat of flooding will be worth watching as all this rainfall comes down, the first wave of moisture is going to be characterized by the swath of freezing rain. It's going to spread across the southern plains all the way to the Ohio Valley, and the main time frame for this is going to be late today into the 23rd. The Winter Storm Severity Index has parts of Oklahoma into Michigan under a minor impact from wintry weather in the yellow shade, so expect mainly just some lighter impacts from freezing rain. Maybe some power outages, scattered tree damage, and slippery roadways, but nothing too severe and widespread. The heaviest freezing rainfall looks to occur further south, especially around the Ozarks, so that's why we do see those orange shades. We might even see freezing rain accretion up to or exceeding half an inch, so that can certainly be problematic for those of you in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and even Missouri. And then one more thing to look at before moving on is the current weather alerts, and those counties in the purple are under winter weather advisories, and those are issued especially for lower impact winter weather events. But further south in Oklahoma and Arkansas, we do see those winter storm watches in the blue, winter storm warnings in the pink, and even ice storm warnings in the violet shade. Before concluding today's forecast, I wanted to show you a few photos sent in by my subscribers for the photo of the day. The first one here was sent in from Manchester, England, and these are rare nacreous clouds which form in the stratosphere. I believe this is from a few weeks ago when the stratospheric polar vortex was displaced over the United Kingdom, and those extremely cold temperatures in the stratosphere produced these rare clouds. This next one was sent in by Harris on Instagram. These are a few photos of the cold snap that affected Great Britain over the last several days. And then lastly, we have a few pictures sent by Nathan Osborne through Discord, and this was the damage left behind by an EF1 tornado in Ibiza, Spain on October 22nd, 2019. Thanks to all who sent in their photos, and if anyone else has some pictures that they want to share to get featured on the next forecast, remember to check the link to our Discord server and my Instagram account in the description. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.